Hello and welcome. Welcome to this short little video that I specifically made for you guys. You have all received an email in which I share with you a business proposal and a business case on behalf of mBIT International. This video is also on behalf of Grant. Grant is the creator and founder of mBIT International. It's been around since 2013. The book was published in 2012. And I just thought it would be a nice thing to have you have a look at me, so you know who's talking to you when I go into the Preso. And I'm an NLP master trainer, I'm a coach, I'm a master coach, I'm a supervisor, and I'm also one of the few master trainers of mBIT in the world. I'm sort of responsible for Europe, and that's why I got into your governing body, got your email, and sent you this letter. And for those of you who have a visual preference or just want to get a zest of who I am, well, here I am. I've been in NLP since 1995, became a trainer in 2001 and a master trainer in NLP, and I've worked with Robert Dills, Judy Delosier, Susie and Tim, Ted James, and I connected with mBIT in 2012 through the book. I got these guys over from Melbourne. I was at that time living in Perth. I got these guys over from Melbourne, Marvin and Grant, and I was sold because it solidifies all that I had been doing in NLP in first, second and third generation, and it simplifies it. So based on my experience with mBIT in the last 4 years, my whole approach into sales, into my life, into doing my business, into my trainings has changed and changed rapidly and very impactfully. So we thought that this would be a good way to get you in touch with mBIT, to learn about what it is and do you an offer. Now, in the email that I've sent you, there's also two articles. One is from Why Woodsmall, and the other one is an article which explains a little bit more about the core competencies and the prime functions. So it's worth reading that one as well. After you finished listening to that presentation that follows after this, I'm so hoping so hoping from the bottom of my heart to meet you in Amsterdam, because it's a very worthwhile business proposition that we make. So enjoy the rest of your ride, and hopefully we'll see you in Amsterdam. Bye bye.
So now that I gave you a short introduction, let's go to the visual representation of the business case, becoming an mBIT trainer. The business case. So the business opportunity is about leveraging your existing database and opening up new channels by becoming an mBIT trainer. The return on investment is amazing. So the methodology is amazing, but it has a tremendous, amazing return on investment. Just to give you an example, I've been an mBIT trainer, as I said before, since 2001. I became an NLP trainer since 2001. And in 2013, I became an mBIT trainer. I was living in Australia. In the meantime, I've moved back to Holland. And I have facilitated, I think, about 15 or 20 of these 4 days mBIT coach certification trainings. And you just have to do one with a small group to get a return on investment. It really is amazing. So let's explore this a little bit. Now, what exactly is the business opportunity? As you probably know by now, is that neuroscience has shown that the heart and the gut brain, the heart and the gut, have functional and adaptive capabilities that are technically similar to that of the brain. Now, if we just for 1 second pause with that, is that the fact that neuroscience, not mBIT, but neuroscience, is saying that the heart and the gut, they have functional and structural characteristics that are the same as that of the head brain. So a brain is being called a brain when it fits with those characteristics. And it is huge, it's amazing that this knowledge, this neuroscience knowledge now has been put into a model where all these three things come together. Based on this knowledge and based on the behavioral modeling that Marvin and Grant did, starting in 2008, they created a field of mBIT, a new field of mBIT, and mBIT stands for Multiple Brain Integration Techniques Coaching. So in 2008, they came together. They've been working together, those two together, since I think in 1991. Marvin was already in NLP in Hawaii with Ted James and Bandler in I think 1984. So that's well, in 2008 they came together and they started doing research on those three brains, and they did behavioral modeling of those neural intelligences. And in 2012 they published a book, mBIT, Using Your Multiple Brains to Do Cool Stuff. It's a really great book. And this latest brain, heart, and gut research is breaking new grounds in coaching and leadership and NLP, and allows an mBIT trainer to leverage the work in other related fields like personal development, like mindfulness, like yoga, in nursing, and I will come back to that in a bit. So, what is mBIT, or multiple brain integration techniques? Well, multiple brain integration techniques is a behavioral technology for integrating the multiple brain capacities and competencies for the human. And it has applications in domains of personal development, of performance, of therapy, health and well-being, spirituality, leadership, community, and evolutionary consciousness. So if I go back to what it is, a behavioral technology for integrating the multiple brain capacities and competencies of the human. So each brain, or neural intelligence, or adaptive neural intelligences, has specific capacities and competencies. So each brain has prime functions and core competencies. And if I look at the prime functions, just in plain language, each brain supposed to be doing something particular for that brain. We call that prime functions. So for instance, the prime functions of the head brain is cognitive perception, is meaning making, and is thinking. The primary function of the heart is emoting, is valuing, and is the relational effect, how we connect with others, and also how we connect with self. And the prime functions of the gut brain is self-preservation, mobility, and core identity. It's about boundaries and stuff like that. So what we found is that if for someone to be aligned, for someone to be integrated, for someone to get into their wisdom, they need to have an alignment of those three brains, and each brain should do the work that they're made for, so to speak. There's a whole neurological basis for that, which we will teach you when you come into the mBIT coach training and the master coach training, and the trainers training. So it is really key that for a human being to create their most unique them, it's crucial for the system of those three brains to be aligned and to be integrated, because each brain has their own intelligence. Each brain has their own prime functions, what they're made for, and their core competencies. And to give you a metaphor, for instance, you know the expression, if you use a hammer to do everything, some things will go really well. For instance, putting a nail into a piece of wood, but putting a screw into a lamp, you don't use a nail, you use a screwdriver. So metaphorically, it's like that. And the other thing is that everybody does their mBrating, and once you get your thoughts and your thinking and your being with that, you can see it anywhere, and in 5 minutes you can assess how people do their mBrating, and then you can use mBIT, which is a huge big toolbox. It's more like a garage with all kinds of techniques that will allow other people to align. So having said that, what is the niche? Well, the good thing is that it's an integrated approach to work with the multiple brains, validated by scientific research, which results in a new domain of behavioral technology with practical applications. and it's delivered in commercially viable and saleable forms. For instance, when you're a trainer, for instance, you have the 4-day mBIT coach cert, you have a 2-day leadership decision making, you have a 2-day evolve. So I specifically work in leadership and with coaches and people helpers like therapists, psychologists, doctors. So my groups are mainly filled with, at least the 4-day mBIT coach are mainly filled with coaches, psychologists, and leaders. But you can, I know trainers in the world who work specifically in the domain of nursing, and they have a lot of nurses and doctors in their group. I know people work specifically in leadership, and they have a lot of leaders and managers in the group. So it is adaptable to your niche. So having said that, this is your target market, and this isn't all, but it's just an overview. So it's NLPers, because mBraiding was developed out of NLP. It has a huge impact on how you do NLP. It has a huge impact on integrating stuff, because as I said before, prime functions of the several brains, one of the key things of the gut brain is it's the place where it's integrated. So if it's not integrated in the gut brain, it doesn't work. That's why a lot of people feel in their heart or in their head possibly that they have made a change, but the change is only happening once it's integrated in the gut. So NLPers, the target market is coaches, leaders, managers. Yoga. We have people that use mBIT in massage. We have people, trainers that do mBIT with horses. The target niches: network chiropractors, martial arts, sport athletes, golfers, therapists, psychologists, doctors, body workers, and any practice where embodiment, breath, identity, and values play a major role. So how does this business model work? To become an mBIT trainer, you have to complete the mBIT coach certification training and the mBIT trainers training. You get a return on investment when you run your first pilot mBIT coach certification workshop with only 5 or 6 participants and get your return on investment immediately. The good thing is there are no license fee. You pay €35 per person, for which you get support from the master trainers and from Grant. You get the book and you get the official sale. And you can repeat this by marketing this new exciting neuroscience-based training that is an extension of NLP in coaching. You can attract new clients. And mBIT Coach Cert is both a product extension into existing certifications, as well as a very attractive sales funnel for new clients. So what we see is that, the prerequisite for people to join the mBIT coach training is that they work with people. You don't have to have an NLP background. So what we see is that people that don't have an NLP background, they come into the 4-day mBIT coach training and they experience that we do add NLP into the mBIT, like rapport and like association and disassociation and meta. We find that people that haven't done NLP who come into an mBIT coach cert, they wanted to explore NLP as well. So there's a spin-off into our NLP practitioner and master practitioner trainings. And it's a way of attracting new clients. So how does this work? The mBIT training and development pathway. Well, if you follow the red dot, it starts with, we have keynotes. So there's a whole lot of books, coaching cards, etc. Some people go into the 2-day personal development training, which we call mBIT Evolve. It's a two-day fun, high activity training for personal development. Some of them continue to go into the 4-day mBIT coach, but there's also people that go this way. They go directly into the 4-day coach. On that 4-day mBIT coach, you certify them as an internationally licensed mBIT coach. There are, in different countries, there are development groups for coaches where they can keep upgrading their knowledge. Then we have a 6-day mBIT coach certification trainers training. You don't have to do the master coach, which is here. you can directly go to the 6-day coach certification training. In the Master Coach, by the way, we facilitate the fourth and fifth brain. The fourth brain being the autonomic nervous system, and the fifth brain being the reproductive brain. But once you've done the 6-day trainers training, you can facilitate the advanced programs. Of course, the Master Coach, which I have here, the Master Coach and the trainers training are being facilitated by the Master Trainers, of which there are 5 or 6. So what you can do once you're a trainer, you can get into facilitating the leadership decision making. You can go into Loving Your Life webinars. We have online programs, and of course we can do mBIT Evolve. We're developing all kinds of 2 days and 3 days for trainers to open their market. So this one, the Evolve, is specifically for the general public. We have all kinds of info products that will help market the 2-day Evolve. We have certified coach support products. The Master Trainers support mBITCoaches, as well as the trainers training. We have support groups, and we have all kinds of products that that solidify the whole field. So here's an overview of some of the products that we have, and just go and read through it. Just to share with you that it's really a field. It is a real field in which you can, be a part and make money as you are being part of that.